Hey everyone, it's Mojaxx back in the DJcity UK lab. Normally we have two categories of video on this series. We have the tips and we have the reviews. Today we are adding a third category, the public service announcement. This is the Epsilon DJT 1300 USB. It was released around about 2015. It came in a pack with the Epsilon mixer and two turntables for like $700-800 in the US. I never got hands on with those at the time, but you know, this is a fairly familiar product. It is a handpin super OEM, almost. I'm going to call it a super-ish OEM. Basically comes out of the same factory as a lot of the best turntables out there. The Stanton 150s, the Reloop 7000, 8000, etc. And it shares a lot of parts with those. If you're not familiar with the handpin kind of story, then do watch my review of the Reloop RP7000 Mark II, which came out last week. We'll link that one down below. But yeah, this comes out of the same factory. It has the same tone arm as the standard Super OEMs, which is a great tone arm. It's fully adjustable, works great when it comes to tracking and performance. Overall, it's a very solid tone arm. The motor though is not quite the same as those other models. It is only 3.5 kilograms of torque as opposed to 4.5 on the regular kind of Super OEMs. Now that's not to say that you can't scratch with this thing. There is plenty of torque there for that. This, I've only got a regular slip mat on here. I have no slip sheets or anything like that. And I can scratch quite happily with this. You're not waiting for it to like get back up to speed when you let go and things like that. It's very good when it comes to scratching. Not quite as good as the others, but it's decent. And you have a lot of the other features of the Super OEMs. You have two start-stop buttons. You don't have any kind of brake adjustment or startup adjustment or torque adjustment indeed, but you know, nice dead stop. You have a motor off button, separate from the power for the turntable altogether. So you can switch the motor off from the top. You have 33, 45 and 78 RPM speeds, a reverse button, 10, 20 and 50% pitch range. So you can do your ultra pitch scratches, and there's a quartz lock there because there's no click at 0, which is always great. So overall, it's kind of a middling one in terms of performance there. One thing that is different from the other Super OEMs and what makes this one somewhat less appealing is the body. Firstly, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I'm pretty sure most people will agree that this thing is ugly as sin. It is not a pretty turntable by any definition. It's also very plasticky. You know, the build is very plastic all round. It doesn't feel terribly like weak or anything like that. It's a heavy turntable still, but it's not as solid as some of those other Super OEMs. Also, the platter is lighter. It's more ringy if you tap it, and there's no rubber inside like insulating from vibration and feedback and so on as well. So it's not really suitable for performing on a stage. It does have a line output. You can switch to line output or phono, and there's a USB on there as well. So you can actually connect it to your computer and record vinyl directly into something like Audacity. That's a handy feature to have for a lot of people, I'm sure. So overall, this is a very kind of middle of the range turntable. It's decent, but not going to set the world alight, and really not suitable for gigging very much, that kind of thing. So why am I talking about it? Well, right now at places like recordcase.de in Germany, you can pick these up for 160 euros each. In the UK, Turntable Training Wax have them for 140 pounds each. That price is ridiculous. Like, you cannot buy a good turntable for anything approaching that kind of money. You just can't do it. That's the same kind of price as my Belt Drive SoundLab terrible turntables were 20 years ago. So even if we, you know, forget about inflation, that's still an insane bargain. Absolutely ridiculous price. Like, these are great. If you want an extra turntable for your home, if you've got buddies who come over and you want a session doing some scratching, this is a perfect addition to that, 160 euros. If you are a beginner, you've been learning on a controller, you want to get into the roots of DJing a bit more, you want to try out vinyl DJing or DVS, a perfect starter turntable, absolutely spot on. You won't get the kind of frustrations with these that you do with the really budget turntables out there. If you have kids and you want to get them some turntables, you don't want to give them expensive decks that might get broken, 160 euros each. Absolutely insane pricing. Now, I do try and avoid being region specific in these videos. I'd love to think that these are available worldwide at that kind of price. So if you found a similar deal in the States or any other territories, please do let us know in the comments below. You know, because I would hope that everyone gets a chance to get this deal. But my suspicion is this: I think these are dead stock. I'm almost certain this is not like an ongoing product priced at that kind of number. I don't think so. I think there's a few hundred, a few thousand maybe of these left, and that's it. They're just going to shift them at that price. There will be no more after that at this kind of price. So this is why I'm doing this video right now. I want to get it out to you so DJcity viewers get a chance to pick up this score. The other problem is as well, they are kind of region specific when it comes to voltage. So although it might seem like a good idea to get these shipped to the US from Europe, they are 240 volts. You're going to need a step up transformer and you're going to pay import duty. So at that point, you're probably better off buying something, you know, like a Reloop 7000 or something instead. Those cost savings aren't so big, but yeah, I'd love to hear of deals elsewhere in the world on these because that pricing is just ludicrously cheap. Now, I haven't looked at the mixer yet, the Epsilon InnoMix 2, right? It's selling for around about 150 euros. It looks okay. It looks kind of DJ tech, kind of budget kind of vibe, but they sent it to me without a UK adapter. I haven't had time to plug it in yet. And frankly, I've got more important stuff to review here on the channel right now. I've got loads of stuff backed up, but I just thought it was really important to let you guys and girls know that right now, the biggest bargain in DJing is going on. And if you've been looking for a cheap turntable to add to your setup, you'd be crazy not to pick one of these up if you find them at that price. Thank you for watching today. Make sure you subscribe for all our future tips, tricks, and product reviews. I'll see you soon.